A very good evening to all of you. It's again wonderful seeing you all on this Saturday evening as part of Coffee with Vythee. So, for people who have joined in for the first time, let me just introduce myself. I am Vaidhishwaran Vedigri. I'm the founder and principal learning consultant at Vylearn. So, I'm based out of Chennai and I'm primarily involved in learning design, development, delivery, and training. So that's a very brief about myself and about today's session. So, as you would have all seen in the notification, we will be talking today about creating interactive videos. So, I'm going to be talking about two tools today. One tool is for capturing videos, and the second one is where you are going to make your videos interactive. So, the way our session is going to flow is I will be sharing my screen and I will be explaining to you this various software, the various options available. And once we are done, I will give time for all of you to ask your questions. And you can ask any questions you want and get it clarified. And as always, the session is recorded. And after this session, by tomorrow morning, I will be sharing the recording with you. So in case you want to go back and refer to this video just to make sure you've got everything in place, you can do that. And of course, we also have our WhatsApp group called the Copy Community, so you can join that. And if you have any questions, you can post your questions over there, or you can also email me directly, and I'll be most happy to answer your questions. So the Coffee with Vythee series happens once a month, and at the beginning of every month, I will be sending out a notification of the topic for that particular month, and you can register yourself and also spread the word to your friends and family who would like to join, because all of these sessions are free. So I would request you to make the most out of it and come and be part of our discussion. So without further ado, let's get into today's session. So like I said before, we are going to be talking about video capture, which is going to be the first part. Okay, so Mr. Chandrakumar, yes, I will be sharing the WhatsApp group link after this session. I'll do that. So like I was saying, the first part is going to be about capturing video, where we will be capturing both our video as well as the video of our screen and how to combine both of that. So for that, we are going to be using a tool called OBS. So in the audience, so is anyone familiar with the tool OBS? You can raise your hand, or you can just unmute and say, or you can even use the chat window, whichever works for you. Okay, so we have some hands raised. Okay. Okay, so OBS is actually a very dynamic tool. It has a lot of functionalities attached to it. OBS in itself is actually, I mean, if I have to teach OBS, that itself will go for about 2 to 3 hours. But today we are going to be looking at only one aspect of OBS, which is going to be recording yourself and recording your screen. So if you are creating any trainings for your students or for your colleagues or anyone, OBS is an excellent tool to do that. And the good news is it's a very robust tool, and this tool is available for free. So we will explore OBS first. We will look at how to capture our own videos using OBS, and then as the second part, we will look at another tool called Edpuzzle, which we are going to use to make our videos interactive. So we will start with OBS. So let me go ahead and start sharing my screen, and we will take it from there. Okay. So I have my screen is visible to everyone. Okay.
Yeah, it's visible, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, sure, sir. Good evening. Nice
Yeah.
meeting you. It's been a long
Thank you.
time.
Yeah. Big gap.
Yes. Okay. So we are looking at OBS Studio first. So OBS Studio can be accessed at obsproject.com. So this is how the website looks like. So whether you're using Windows or Macintosh, whichever operating system you're using, you can just click that and you'll be able to download the software. The downloading is pretty standard, like how you would download any normal application in your Windows or in your Macintosh. You can install the application, and once that's done, I'll open OBS. So the OBS app will look something like this. So once you open it, it will look like this. So here in the screen, you will be able to see that we have a set of options over here. So we have streaming, we have recording, virtual camera, studio mode. There are a lot of options that are available. So like I said, this is used for both streaming. I mean, if you are going to stream to Facebook or YouTube or any other streaming service, you can use this tool to directly stream. In fact, you can also use this to stream on Zoom as well. That is also possible. So this is a very robust and a very powerful tool. But today we are looking at only the recording capability of this particular tool. Okay. So in order to do that, you will have to create what is called a scene. So on the right, you will see that there is an option called a scene. So the first scene is created by default for you. So you can use the same scene as it is, or you can rename it if you want to. Let's just say this is my test scene. I'm just giving it a random name. And under scene, you have the next level, which is called sources. So sources is where you are going to define the feed that is going to go into OBS for recording. So the first one that we typically do is our regular normal webcam, because typically what we do is we create lectures and we typically post those lectures on our YouTube channel or on Vimeo or any other platform. So the objective of today's session is going to be how to make learners really interact with your videos. So in order to create those videos, first we are going to use OBS. So first I am going to select, so you have a lot of options that are available. So I'm going to select video capture device. So when you select video capture device, a window like this will pop up. So you can give it any name you want. So I'm just going to call this my camera. I'm going to click OK. So you will get a window like this. From the drop down, you will get a list of the cameras that are plugged into your machine. If you are using your laptop camera will pop up. In my case, I'm using an external webcam. So that webcam is popping up for me. So when you select this webcam, you can see that the feed from a webcam is now coming. You can select what resolution you want. So I'm selecting the high resolution, which is 1920 by 1080. This is called full HD or full high definition. So I'm going to click OK. So you can see that my feed has now come onto the left side. So this is called a studio mode. So if you can look at this particular area, it is the studio mode is highlighted, which means that there are two windows over here, the left and the right. So the left window is what we call as a stage view, which is the preview. The right is what is going to get recorded. So in order to move what is there on the left to the right, you have a slider over here. Just drag the slider, it will come to the right. So whatever is there on this side, on the right side window, is what will be recorded by your system. So this is, so all you'll have to do is now set up your recording settings and hit record. So in order to do that, you'll have to go to your settings window over here. Just select settings. So under settings, we are going to go into output, because since in today's session we are talking only about recording, we will be dealing only with this output tab. So under output tab, you'll have to go to recording over here, and you will have to define where you want to save your recording. So I'm just going to click browse. So let me say I just want to put it on my desktop. Just say open. So a desktop comes up, and you can also select the format that you want. If you have FLV, MP4, MOV, a lot of formats are available. But typically we go in for MP4 format that has been selected by default, because that is the most accepted format. So if you're going to post it on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn or any other service, MP4 is the preferred option. And this X264 is called an encoder. So again, that is the most popular encoder that is used. So that is, you can just leave it as is, and you don't have to disturb any of the other settings. All of this by default, whatever is there, will work for your machine absolutely fine. So you just click OK. and your recording path has been set. So in order to start the recording, all you'll have to do is just click start recording. And once I click start recording, you can see that the recorder is now running. The timer is running. So you can go ahead and you can talk whatever you want, finish your talk. And then you hit stop recording. The recording will stop and the target file will be automatically created in the location that you have specified. Now, if you have a PowerPoint and you would like to have your PowerPoint slides come up as well. Let's say that you have a lecture and you have some slides and you want your slides to come up and you just want to want a small panel of your video sitting at one corner. You can still do that. All you'll have to do is, let me just open a PowerPoint quickly. Just keep it in the background. I'm going to go back to OBS. So here what I'm going to do is under this scene, I'm going to add a second source. So a second source is going to be a window capture because this is PowerPoint is a window that is there in our system. So I'm going to use select window capture. So again the same thing will pop up, just click OK. So your window pop-up will come. So now you'll have to define which scene you want, which window you want to use. So there are a lot of options that are available. So let's say you want your PowerPoint presentation. When you select that, your PowerPoint presentation will come up. So you'll have to click OK. So now what you'll have to do is you can resize this frame to whatever size you want. I think my window resolution is a little high. Yeah, let me make this a little smaller. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, they think this is better. Okay, the reason why the window looks very small on your particular screen is because I'm using a 27-inch monitor. So that's why whatever is there in my full screen looks very big on full high definition. So I have resized this and the window is now sitting. So now let's say I want my my camera also to come in. So I just click OK over here and this gets added. Now I have both my things up here. So let me just bring this. Yeah, so I'm going to add my camera. Just give me a second. So I'll add my camera. Yeah, so I brought my camera up and now I'm resizing my camera window. 1 second. It's a little laggy. 1 second. Yeah, that's better. So now you can see that I have resized my camera window like this. I can put this window wherever I want. This can basically float. So once I have put it where I want and this is the layout that I want, I just hit the slider and it goes into the live mode. And all you'll have to do is start recording and your recording will automatically happen. So this is how you typically do recordings in your computer using OBS, because what we typically do is we go in for any screen capture tool or we try to use Zoom itself for recording, and when we do that the quality might not be so optimal. But if we use a tool like OBS, the advantage is you will get full high definition video as your output, whether you are screen sharing or whether you are shooting your own video. And the advantage is it is a free tool. It doesn't put any watermark. There's no limitation in terms of how much what is the length of the footage that you want to record. There are no restrictions on this. So it's a very robust and a very interesting tool. So you can just hit start stop. It's a very straightforward tool. Just start recording, and once you're done, hit stop recording. Your recording will be ready. So for example, I'm just minimizing this. Yeah, I'm just close this. So this is the video that we just recorded. And once I click start recording, you can see that the recorder is now running. The timer is running. So you can go ahead and you can talk whatever you want, finish your talk. Yeah. So this is how we go about recording videos on OBS. So any questions on this before we go into the making it interactive?
Hi, sorry. My question is, I don't know if it is appropriate at this point in time,
Okay.
but if I were to toggle between multiple scenes,
Mm-hmm.
First, the use case I have is, I'm presenting like you presented with the PowerPoint slide and, a pop-up window like you're showing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say I want to seamlessly toggle into showing another video from another window,
Yes.
right? And I want it to flow like I'm saying, okay, let me illustrate by showing you a video. And as I'm talking, is there a way I can actually uh, seamlessly go instead of trying to edit it post recording?
Absolutely. That is
Okay.
exactly what this tool is designed for. It is a full-fledged production suite. So all you'll have to do is have, just like how I added a PowerPoint over here, you will have to add, you'll have to open your video, just go to plus, add a media source. So a media source is going to be a video. Let's just say I'm picking up one video from here. Let me see if I can get one. Yeah, let's say I pick up this video. I hit OK.
Right.
And that media source is going to come up. So again, all I'll have to do is bring this media source to the front. Yeah, let me do that. Okay, 1 second. I think the resolution is again playing tricks today. Yeah. Okay, I don't know why this isn't popping up. Just give me a second. Okay, give me a second. Okay, this is all fine. Okay. Yeah. So you can see that this video has now come up.
Right.
So all you'll have to do, so this is actually like a production suite. So you can switch between the various views that you want. So let's say I want to bring this up. So I just bring this up. My window capture is going to come up. And then this video will still be playing, right? And then all you'll have to do, just seamlessly move this and it will get shifted like this. So what you'll have to do is, if you have your complete talk planned and you have all your media files and the order that you want it to play, you can add all of this here preset. And then as you are talking, you can just toggle and switch, and it'll just happen one after the other. So you just have to make the arrangement, and then after each arrangement, just select it, just do the slider, it'll just automatically come. So that's how you do it.
Okay.
So when you are recording, so what you'll have to do is you'll have to script your entire the video that you're going to do, in terms of the slides, in terms of all the media elements that you want to show, any sound bites or videos and all. Arrange it in that particular sequence that you want, and then just keep, as you talk, you can just move it up and down, and it will automatically transition.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
won't there be a lag?
there won't be a lag, because this recording happens in real time. There is no cut or anything that happens, and since you have already arranged everything, all you'll have to do is, when it comes to that point, just select the object and hit the fader. It'll automatically transition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sure. You're most welcome. Any other questions?
Sir, how to get the audio?
Okay, so audio, actually OBS will by default pick up the audio of your machine. So you typically should not have any problems. But if you are using 2 or 3 external devices, then you'll have to go in and define your audio. But that's not a typical use case that you will see, because typically when you are recording, you will either be using your laptop microphone, or probably you might have one external microphone plugged in. So that will typically be the only source that is available. So your system will automatically have that as default, and OBS will pick up whatever is default set for your machine. So you don't have to go in and make any configuration for the audio, unless you want to change the default only within OBS.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, most welcome.
So I have one more question.
Yes, please.
How does this work with multi-camera setup? For
Okay.
example, if I'm demonstrating artwork, right? I would like one, let's say my cell phone, typically point towards, let's say, the place where I'm drawing. right?
Yep.
And probably I have that fixed and this thing. So can you give me a suggestion how that can be done?
Same method. All you'll have to do is see the first, this I've set it as camera, right? So I will rename this as camera self, and then I will go in, add a second camera, add a second video capture device. I will call this table camera. So to focus on your art, which is on your table. So in the list of devices, you will see the number of cameras that are connected to your machine. So from there, you can select your second camera. So right now I have got only one camera attached. My second camera is actually sitting over there, so I have not yet connected it. So if I have a second camera, I can connect. I can, in my particular setup that I'm using, I can connect up to 6 cameras. In my workspace that I'm working on, I can connect up to 6 cameras, and I have actually conducted sessions where I had to use 3 cameras.
Okay.
So you can seamlessly shift. So how many ever cameras you want, you can add those many number of cameras. So let's say I hit OK. So you will see that there are 2 cameras that are now coming up. So you have a table camera and you have a camera self. So you'll just have to toggle between the cameras. That's it.
So the other cameras that you have, are they like, you know, the DSLR cameras
I have
or
camcorders.
camcorders? Okay.
Yes, because the
Can I use?
yeah,
So,
please go ahead.
sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, I was just saying that I prefer camcorders over DSLRs because DSLRs typically have that 30-minute recording, 30-minute limit on recording, except for very few cameras. Most of them have that 30-minute recording, and DSLRs also tend to get heated up if you do long hours of streaming and recording. So I usually prefer camcorders.
And how about using cell phones as an alternate source of?
Okay, you can, and this is something that I have personally experimented with, but the problem is if you use your cell phone as a webcam, the software that is available, both free and paid, are not robust enough. They typically, it sometimes results in signal loss where your signal quality drops, or the software automatically reduces the resolution. And you're not able to control it, because I have evaluated both free and paid software for using my cell phone as a webcam, and I've tested at least 7 or 8 software, and none of them were up to my satisfaction.
Okay.
So my suggestion will be to go with the webcam. That's the cheapest option. But if you want a multi-camera setup, I would recommend going with camcorders.
Okay. So a camcorder then will give a live feed into OBS, is it?
Yes, it will.
Okay. I don't have to separately record on my camcorder.
Not required. It will send a live feed. So for that, you will have to have a particular a device which will help you connect your camcorder to your computer, because you can't do a feed to your computer via USB. Yeah, that is not going to happen. If you are using a camcorder, it will not send any feed via USB. You'll have to use you'll have to send the feed via HDMI. So for that, you will have to have what is called a cam link. It's a small device that you can use. Or if you are going to use multiple cameras, I'll probably stop my screen sharing so that I can show it to you. If you are going to use multiple cameras, you might probably need a device like this. Let me unplug this and show it to you. Okay. So for me, I use multiple cameras. So I use a device like this.
Okay.
This is so this can connect up to 4 cameras.
Okay. And
so
that
apart from that, I also have USB cameras that I can connect. So I can connect up to 5-6 cameras in my machine.
Okay. And that's a USB connection, is it?
Yeah. No. This connects through Thunderbolt.
Okay. Oh, you're on Mac.
Yeah, Mac. But even otherwise, this connects only through Thunderbolt. So you will either need a Mac, or you will need Windows machines which connect through Thunderbolt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, most welcome. Okay. So any other questions? Okay. So if there are no more questions, I guess we will move to the next part, where we will look at how to make our captured videos interactive. So we will be using a tool called Edpuzzle to make this happen. So let me go ahead and once again share my screen to show you how Edpuzzle works. So the website is edpuzzle.com. So this is the website, and this has both free as well as paid versions. So I will show you how the pricing looks like. So this is the pricing model that Edpuzzle has. So the basic version is free. You can create up to 20 custom videos with the free version. If you want to do more than 20, there are two ways of doing this. One is if you refer friends and family to create account. I think for every 3 accounts you get one additional video spot. Or if you want more, you can delete your older videos and then add new videos. There are no limits on what the size of that video can be. It can be small videos, and I have tested recordings up to 2 hours of duration. It considers it only as a single video. So I have tried uploading a single 2-hour video on Edpuzzle and it still accepts it. So you won't have any problems with that. The pro version obviously has no limits, so you can go ahead and create how many ever videos that you want. But I would personally say that the free version is still good to go, because Edpuzzle has a very unique feature, and it's a very interesting feature by which you can still use the free version and have more than 20 videos. You can have countless of your videos over there and still be good with your free version. I'll show you how to do that. So before doing that, let us look at how to sign up with Edpuzzle. So to sign up, you just have to go to sign up over here, and whether you are an instructor or a student, you can create an account for yourself. So I will show you how to create an instructor account. So just select I am a teacher. The thing with Edpuzzle is sometimes your single sign-on doesn't really work, because this is something which was working in Edpuzzle before, but the last 1 or 2 months that single sign-on thing has some error. So you can go and create an account with Edpuzzle. So you can just quickly do that. Just fill in your details. And just hit create new account. Okay, so I don't want that. So we are going to so it by default gets you on the basic plan, which is absolutely fine. So now you can go to your account. So once you log in, this is how your page will look like. So you can go ahead and create content. So if you want, so you can go to the my content tab over here on the left. So this is where you can add content, and you also have the option of creating folders so that you can keep your content much more organized. So let's say I have a test class. So I'm just going to create this one. So inside this folder, I can add my content. So here to add content, you have this blue button on the top. So you just add content, go to upload video. So I'm going to choose a file. You can either drop it from your Google Drive or you can choose a local file. So I'm going to choose a very small video so that the upload will happen faster and we can actually look at how to manipulate this video. So we just give it a few seconds for it to upload. So while this video is getting prepared, also like to give you some additional information on Edpuzzle. So Edpuzzle integrates with Google Classroom. So if you are a person who is using Google Classroom and you have classes set, you can add your classes directly over here. So you can add Google Classrooms, you can add your any Microsoft Teams group that you have, you can add that, or any of these other classroom tools that are available. If you are using any of these, you can go in and directly add your class. Or if that's not something that you're using, that's still fine. You can still create a link for your video and share it with your participants. So I'm just going to close this. So that's one feature that's available. Yeah, so we'll just give this video a few more minutes to process. So while this is happening, I will talk to you a little bit about that particular aspect where I was telling you that you can do more than 20 videos. So Edpuzzle has a very interesting feature where it not only allows you to add your own recorded videos to the platform, but it also allows you to pull in videos from other platforms, particularly YouTube. So let's say that you have a video on YouTube, right? So let's say that there's a TED talk or something. So let's say you're making a presentation and you would like to refer to a particular TED talk for your students. So you're giving them an assignment. Say that, okay, you guys are going to go and watch this TED talk and come back to me. That's how we typically do. We give them a video, we ask them to go watch that video, come back and all that. So what you can do is you can integrate that TED talk video directly onto Edpuzzle, and you can insert questions in that YouTube video itself. So in your particular case, suppose if you are a person who is creating your own videos and you want to add questions to it, you can either do a direct upload like how I did. If you are out of space in terms of your 20 videos, or you can upload your videos that you have recorded for yourself to your YouTube channel, pull those videos into this and create your questions. Because when it comes to that 20 video restriction, it is only when you say 20 videos, it only considers those 20 spots for the videos that you upload, not the videos that you pull from YouTube, right? So if you want more videos for yourself, you can upload it to your YouTube channel, pull it into Edpuzzle, add questions at strategic locations and share it. So now our video is ready. So we are now going to go into this video. So the video is now up over here. So to give you a little bit of context about this video is actually part of a movie called Manos. It's from a production standpoint, it's one of the worst movies ever made. And me and my friend, we were sort of researching this video, and we were looking at areas where the director obviously fumbled and things like that. So that's why this particular clip came up. So you can play this video. The video will normally play. So let's say that this is a 2-minute 20-second video. Let's say that you have a couple of questions that you want to ask, or you want to direct your viewer's attention to a particular point in the screen. You can do that by adding interactive elements. So in order to do that, you'll have to click edit. So here you have the option of trimming this video if you want to. Suppose if you want to shorten this video a little bit. So there is a title screen that is there, so I don't want this. So I can probably cut it off over here. So the video is now trimmed. It's very, very simple. And then you have this option called questions. So in this tab, you have 3 options which are available, right? One is called multiple choice, the other is open-ended, and the other is note. So let's say that the users are watching this particular scene and they have reached this particular point like at around 15 sec, around this time, 16 seconds. And I want to add a note to my audience. I just say, look out for the background music score. So I'm just doing that over here, just hitting save. So you can see that a pointer has appeared over here. So now here I want to ask a question. Let's say I have a multiple choice question. So I'm just going to post a general question over here. What is the name of the ant tag? So I can put any name that I want, Manoj Targo. If you want to add more options, you can add. You can put my name, anything that you want. So whatever is the correct answer, you can select that and just hit save. Okay, and you can also ask open-ended questions. So let's say comment about the camera angle in this shot. This is just general questions, so I'm just putting this. So what will happen is, once you are done asking all your questions, you can just hit finish over here. It will finish, and then you can go ahead and assign this. So when you have to assign it, you'll have to assign it to a class. So you can add a new class. Okay, I'll have to verify my account. Just give me a second. I'll verify my new account. Yeah, I think I'll have to refresh this page. 1 second. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just adding a new school. Just putting other. Yeah. So if your school is not there in the list, suppose if you are an independent practitioner, you are a trainer, or you have your own classes that you are conducting as a freelancer, you can just put in your name, your brand, or whatever you're using, and just select whichever level and just hit finish. It will go ahead and create a school for yourself, and that's what's happening right now. So once that is done, you will be able to create a class and assign this video to your class. So suppose if you don't use Google Classroom, for example, you just want a link to that video. All you'll have to do is just create a dummy class in your Google Classroom account, assign this video to that class, and then you will be able to get a link that you can share. Suppose let's say you are conducting a session through Zoom, and you have all the participants email, and you want to assign this particular video to them via email. You just have to take that link and email it to them. There is also another option which is available in Edpuzzle, which is called an embed option. So suppose you are a person who has your own website for your particular course, and you want to embed this video on your website. For example, that is to make this video play directly from your website itself. Edpuzzle also gives you an embed code that you can paste in the source script of your website, so that that particular video appears within your web page. So whichever option you want to use, you can definitely go ahead and do that. Just 1 second, it's still getting added. Not sure why it's taking this much time. Just give me a second. Let me check if my email is still happening. Yeah, my email is verified. Okay, I guess we'll just have to wait for this. Give this a second. Okay, I think the server is taking a little bit of time to create the school. So what I will do is, I already have another school account that is already created. So I'll probably continue the demonstration over there, because from there it is just a matter of, once you click OK, the same screen will appear with the same questions, and then we'll just have to see how it is being published and shared with your class. So I will open a separate window, go to Edpuzzle, login, teacher, yeah, login. Yeah. So I have my test class sitting over here. So this is the view that we saw. So this is actually a 2.5 hour recording. So I've just got about a couple of multiple choice questions over here. So once this is done, you'll be able to go in and share this with your class. So what will happen is once once that upload is completed and your school is created, the scene will look something like this. Your web page will look something like this. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to go in and share your assignment. So here, once you go to the assignment part, you have the option of giving them a start date and an end date. So suppose let's say that you are conducting a 6-week program or an 8-week program and you are giving an assignment for a particular week. You can say that, okay, so you'll have to complete this assignment by so and so date and submit your responses so that we can discuss it in the subsequent class. So you can do a start and an end date for this. And if you want to force your audience to watch through the entire video, you can turn this on. So when you turn this on, they won't be able to like scroll and jump across the video. They'll have to necessarily watch the video from start to finish without skipping. If you turn this off, they will be able to drag the slider and just go through that video randomly. So depending on your particular use case, you can either turn this on or off. And then you have the option of sharing. One second. Yeah, so you can share your assignment. So this is the assignment link for your student. So you'll just have to copy this link, paste it on your email and send it to your student, or if you are sharing it on a WhatsApp group, you can still do that. And this is something, if you are going to use it on your LMS or if you're going to post it on your web page, you'll have to copy this embed code and put it in the source code and it will automatically come up. So we copy this link and we post it, it will play. So we'll just go to a different window over here, just turning this on. Okay, so it's the class is not created. Anyway, not a problem. So I will just turn this on. So when they click the link, this is how the video will appear for them. So they'll have to start playing this video. So hit play. The video will start playing like this. Thanks a lot. And learn from my knowledge. So here. So once you reach that particular point in that video, the video will pause and you will have a question coming up like this. So as they are watching the video will keep playing, and when it reaches the point where you want to stop and ask them a question, the video will pause and this particular question will come up. So you can select the answer, submit, it will give you the feedback for that and you can hit continue. Let's get started. So then we come to the next point. It will. So as your video is playing, you come to the next point. 4 major parts. It's the lesson plan. And your next question pops up. So you can select the option, continue. And then when you come to the next point, this is actually a note. So I'm just giving them a sort of piece of information saying, so the video is playing, the video stops and says, hey guys, I'm stopping this video right now because this is going to be very important. Watch out for the steps of persona generation. So you're just stopping them and saying, guys, this is important for you. Watch this and then continue. So you just hit continue. Just one example. You can do this in your. So this is how you add various points to your video that you have uploaded. So now comes the interesting part. So this is how you use it for your personal videos. So now let's say you want to source a video from online. How will you do that? So all you'll have to do is just go over here. There's a search bar on the top. You can search for whatever you want. Let's say I'm just looking for TED Talks. So this is like how you would normally search in YouTube. Whatever results come up, they just come up over here. And you can select anything that you want. Let's say I want to do this one on procrastination. So let's say I'm doing a course on time management and I want to give an exercise on procrastination. The good thing about this particular Edpuzzle is there are two things that you can do. One, you can use the video and add your own questions, or Edpuzzle has a community which has created number of question banks for the same video. So if you look at this particular video, there are about 6 people who have created question banks for this video. So there are this video has 13 questions, this video has 10 questions. So you can, as an instructor, you can review this particular one. So you can just stop this over here, look at all the questions that have been asked. So if you like this set of questions, you can use it directly for your students. Or if this is something that you don't want and you want to create your own, you can just go and edit and just go ahead and start creating your own version. So suppose you don't want this, you can.
Not an option. It was way too big a project.
1 second. So you just go here, over here. One moment. Yeah. So you can just go in over here and change this question. So if you want to create your own version, you can go and change your own version and then hit finish. A copy will be saved under your name. So you can still go ahead, and this is actually the best part of Edpuzzle, and this personally the part that I really like, because you can go ahead and create how many ever videos that you want. You can fall back on a community in Edpuzzle which has already created a lot of questions. So all you'll have to do is just take this URL and share it with your class. That's it. And they get an assignment for them which is interactive and very, very engaging for them, and they get, and if you can add notes, you can make people reflect, and once they complete all of this and when they hit submit, you will get a copy of their submission that you can review and probably respond to them over email or any other mode of communication that you want. So this is how Edpuzzle works. It's a very, very interesting tool. One thing that I didn't talk to you about is this voiceover feature that is over here. This is something that was actually a very cool thing that Edpuzzle had, but YouTube changed their policies and Edpuzzle had to discontinue it. The thing with the voiceover is you can have your YouTube video playing. If you want to add your own personal notes or any thoughts to that video, you can actually silence the speaker of the YouTube video and you can give in your voiceover over there and then let the speaker continue. So that was a feature which was there in Edpuzzle. It was there until I think last year, where Edpuzzle had YouTube had changed its terms and conditions, and that prevented Edpuzzle from going in and making changes to content created by someone else. So that has been removed. So that's why I'm not talking about it today. But you can still go ahead, you can trim your videos, you can add any questions you want. So let's say that you have conducted a lecture for about 30 or 45 minutes and you want to share the recording of your own lecture to your students. So let's say that this particular session I am recording on Zoom right now. And let's say I want to give this recording to you. I can either give this recording to you as a passive recording, or I can put this on Edpuzzle, ask questions at strategic intervals. Let's say that, okay, so I was talking to you about OBS. So when I talked about resolution, I just paused the video and asked, so how do you change the resolution of your recording video? Where is that option available? So you can either type out the answer, or if I have a multiple choice, you can do that. Anything that you want, you can do all of that and make that video very engaging. So when people are watching your video, it's not like they are going to sit through 20 minutes or 25 minutes and just stare at your video. At every 3 minutes or 5 minutes, you're going to stop the video, ask them a question, ask them to pen their thoughts down, and that will make their videos so very interesting and so very attractive, and you can make your sessions very, very engaging. So this is a very high level overview. It's a very, very simple tool, and one of the policies that I typically follow with these Coffee with Vythee series is the tools that I explain are very, very intuitive. They are very, very simple to use, and on most probabilities they will be very, very cost effective also, so that it's something that you just don't listen and go back and forget about it. You can actually download, practice, try and use all of these tools. And as you are using these tools, because when I'm explaining something to you right now, it might seem very, very simple, but if when you are using it, you will definitely have questions, and at that point always feel free to give me a ping on WhatsApp or drop me an email. I'll be most happy to explain what that is for you. So this is a very, very high level overview of how Edpuzzle works and how you can make your videos very interactive. We have 9 more minutes in today's session. So I'll probably stop my screen sharing and would like to open the floor for any questions you might have. Okay, so I see.
Sir,
Yes,
yeah,
please.
Balachandra here, sir.
Yes, sir.
I need one clarification. It's only a doubt. It's not a question.
Okay.
Earlier, you have taught us about how to edit a video.
Mm-hmm.
In some other method you have told us. And
Yes.
today, what we see is how we can take a video and how we can add certain comments, questions, or some summary, something like that.
Yes.
Instead of other than editing, in addition to editing, you
In
have told
addition to
this.
editing, you can do this. Yes.
Because this feature is not this particular feature is not available in that editing whatever you have taught earlier.
Yes.
Actually, so many things are there. It's nice to learn, sir.
Absolutely. Actually, there are some other tools which are available where you can stop a video and ask questions, but those are all very expensive tools. They are paid tools. In fact, I'm using a tool for one of my clients, and for that, the annual license is $1,400. So there are,
$1,400.
yeah, that's incredibly expensive, right?
Okay,
So,
okay.
but you don't have to necessarily go in for those tools when there are very simple tools which are available that can equally get your job done. And the advantage, and one of the things that I really liked about Edpuzzle is the community that is there, which has already created a big question bank that you can actually fall back upon. It's not like every time you'll have to go in and create something new. You can take their question bank, you can edit it, or you can add more to it, embellish it. It's totally your call.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, about just I'll add one more point if somebody is not having a doubt or question.
Yes.
What has happened about 12-15 years back, between 12 and 15 years back, as a first time, our one of the senior person in my factory, he has introduced a training model using this sort of feature, but it's a separate software. So we take a machine and for a new entrant, we explain how the machine works, and at equal intervals, it might be 3 minutes, 5 minutes, prefixed intervals. We keep asking questions so that are they attentive or not. First thing. Second thing is, if they are attentive, are they able to understand or not? Then that becomes the level 0 or level 1 scoring. Then they will go to the real machine working, where physically they work with the machine. In fact, in Thailand, I have done that presentation also on behalf of Asia Network for Quality.
Actually, there are a lot of tools which are available today. I mean, from that, in fact, about a couple of years back, I created a tool for one of my clients where we had to use augmented reality. So this was for a company which was into internet services. So they were creating trainings for their shop floor people for helping them where to plug in their signal boosters for their internet connection. So in the US, typically they have very large homes and they need signal boosters at various intervals.
Yeah, yeah.
So we did a virtual, we did an augmented reality where they go through it, and there is a bot which actually sort of flies, and at a particular point it will show red trigger saying that, okay, this is an area where you'll have to
It
plug
requires.
in those boosters. So there are a lot of tools which are available, and even today when I'm creating software simulations for my clients or any other video capture tools like this, there are a lot of tools which are available which are actually very expensive, but this is a very inexpensive way of doing things.
No. My point to you is about 15 years back, we have done this. I think it was using Visual Basic.
Okay,
And
so
we have
that
written
involves a lot of coding.
Lot of coding, lot of work. In fact, instead of preparing a questionnaire for a machine, we have learned how to do it on the software side. This is a laborious work. Now, whatever you have shown is it's almost a cakewalk now.
Exactly. I think
Thank you.
that's where the world is now moving, because all of these things are being automated, and today they are creating software where you can create digital learning even without an ounce of programming knowledge. You can create a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So
Say
let me.
we are learning that so many things are there in life with respect to the technology, especially in computer and other things.
Exactly, and that's actually one of the reasons why I started this entire project, because in my line of work I get to stumble upon these tools literally on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
I get to evaluate tools and technologies on a daily basis. So from there I'm picking up the real good ones and I'm sharing with all of you.
Thank you, sir. Very nice of you. Thank you.
Sure. Most welcome.
I think Noel is there, Rajalakshmi ma'am is there, and of
Okay,
course
great.
Jagdish here is there. I think everyone knows about you. You own your service.
Sure, I'm so happy to see all of you after a very long time now.
Yeah. There was a big break
Thank
in
you for
between.
both.
Yes.
It's very nice listening to you.
Thank you.
And you'll be sharing this recording also, no?
Yes. This recording will be made available tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and look at this recording.
Yes.
And if you have any questions, so I think there was a request to post the link to that community on the chat window. So I will do that. And just give me a second. I'll have to go to WhatsApp for that. So I'll post that link. And if you have any questions on this tool, I mean, you can go ahead and practice. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop me a message, and I'll be most happy to answer any questions you might have. And of course, next month we will have another interesting tool or set of tools that I'll be talking about. And in the meantime, if you have any particular tool that you would like to learn, or you've seen somewhere and you want me to talk about it, please feel free to drop me a message. I'll be most happy to cover that tool as well.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me go ahead and share that link. Just give me 1 second.
Sir, Jagdish sir has asked a question. How to join the group, sir?
Yes. So I will share a link to that group. I think we have a few people already there in the group. I will go ahead and share it. 1 second. Right, group. Yeah, I've got the link. Copy.
No, is this group is a different group from already you have a group, no? That
this is the copy community group. So this is
yeah.
exclusively for this project.
Okay.
So the other one is Office 365, where I share information about Microsoft Office tools on a regular basis.
That is a different group.
This is for exclusively for this particular project that I'm doing. So any tools, any technologies, any questions you have on tools and technologies, anything pertaining to teaching, training, this platform is for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So any other questions from anyone? So I think there is one question on recording. Yes, I will be sharing this recording tomorrow morning. Okay. Can we add any picture instead of text? So I didn't quite understand that question. Could you please, Ms. Suguna, you can unmute and ask that question, please.
Happy means, sir.
You had posted a question saying, can we add any picture?
Okay, inserting a text, isn't it, sir?
Sorry?
You told how to insert a text. So
In
can we
Edpuzzle?
able to insert a picture also, sir?
In Edpuzzle you are asking, or in OBS?
No, in Edpuzzle.
No, Edpuzzle actually allows you only to add text questions. What you can do is, if you want to add an image, what I would suggest is, when you are creating your video, you can insert that image as part of your video, pause that video over there and ask your question in text form about that particular image.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Most welcome. I'm just checking the chat to see if we have any more questions. Can you show us a sample of how a PowerPoint slideshow works with microphone live recording? So that is where that's actually part of streaming, and that's actually a a slightly more elaborate process. This is a question from Miss Lalita. So what I will do is I will see if I can create a quick simulation recording of that, and I will probably post it in the group. So you can probably have a look at it, because that's slightly off topic from what we are discussing today, but I'll be most happy to demonstrate that. So I'll prepare a separate video recording of me explaining how to do that, and I'll post it in our group. Okay, so I think those were the questions from the chat window. So if there are there any more questions?
No, nothing related to this class, sir. I am eagerly waiting for that word class from you.
Yes, sir. I there's been a little bit of a delay because I've been traveling quite a bit.
No, it happens for you. We know that, but still, I'm barely in need of it.
Yes, sir. I will definitely be conducting that class. Absolutely. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever I open a word file, no, you come to my mind.
Sure. No problem. I'll definitely be conducting that class. I'll keep you posted.
Please, sir. Other than this, if you have any other classes, no, just let us know also, sir.
Sure.
So that whether we join it or not, that is totally different. But at least people, let them understand what sort of things are there. Whoever, at least they can refer somebody also.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. So I will definitely keep you all posted. No, absolutely.
So
Okay.
one quick question, probably related to hardware.
Yes.
So what is the typical hardware you would recommend? Is there a list that you can share?
That's a good question. If you are going to be using, doing a lot of video recording for you in your machine, from a hardware perspective, I would recommend a minimum of an i5 processor, or if you're using AMD and AMD Series 5, that will be the minimum processor requirement for optimum results. You can still use an AMD 3 series or an i3 series, but the performance will not be up to the mark. So my recommendation will be that. And if you are using, and from a hard drive perspective, I would suggest going for a solid state drive. That's a little expensive, but the performance will be much more smoother. Your recording will not have any lags or any drops or anything like that. So if you are able to go in for a solid state drive, that will be good. And from a RAM perspective, 8 GB RAM is minimum.
Okay.
So
fortunately, I seem to have all these. I have an i7.
Oh, fantastic
processor, Windows. So with SSD drives and 8 GB RAM.
Then you're all
the
set.
Other side is, more or less. In fact, I have been struggling because I've been using post-production editing tool like Power Director to kind of process my videos. But the other question I have is, what would you recommend in terms of a camcorder and that kind of a setup?
Okay, so if you are going for a camcorder, my suggestion will be to go in for a high definition camcorder. No need to go in for 4K or 6K or 8K or anything like that, because whether it's YouTube or Twitch or any other platform, they allow streaming only up to high definition. So there is no point in getting a 4K camera, because you're still going to be streaming only in high definition.
Okay.
So if you are going to use it for live streaming, any HD camera will do. And when you are looking for an HD camera, look for those cameras which will give you a clean HDMI feed. That is one thing that you'll have to check, because what typically happens is, if you go in for a slightly lower end HD camera, so when you open your camcorder, you will have a lot of that information, right? The timer and all of that. So when you take in your HDMI feed, if it's a low end camera, all that feed information will come in on the screen. So when you are going for a camera, for a camcorder, just make sure that you check whether the camera has what is called a clean HDMI feed. So you will be able to remove all that video information and just have only the video flow through. So just give me a second. I'll show you the camera that I have. Give me a second. So this is the camera that I'm using. So this is a Canon.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. So this is the model is called XA11. I hope you are able to see it on the screen. So this is a high definition camera. This has clean HDMI feed. So you can connect an HDMI cable directly from this camera to my 8M Mini Pro, or if you are having a cam link, you can do that. You can also connect external mics to this, and this also comes with another attachment over here that I can actually put on top. So this allows me to connect XLR microphones. That is microphones like this.
Okay.
So these I can connect up to two microphones to this camera. So this is camera like this will cost you around 75 to 80,000 rupees. That's the price range, and it's pretty good. I've been using this for quite some time now. This is pretty good.
Okay. And just a thought, actually, when I think you're using 922 Logitech camera, right? For suppose if I have two of them, will that work?
That will not work, because what will happen is if you consider, theoretically it should work, but practically if you connect two camera devices through your USB, it typically creates some kind of a conflict, and it will tank one of them.
Okay.
I've tried this before in one of my laptops earlier. Yeah, the results were not good. So if you are using a multi-camera setup, my recommendation will be to go in for a set of camcorders, or you can combine your webcam with the camcorder. Or the third option is, if you want to use two cameras which are webcams, you can do that with your laptop, where one camera will be your inbuilt camera and the second camera will be your USB based camera. That is something that you can do.
Okay.
That will work. As long as you don't plug in two USB cameras, it should be fine.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Sure. Most welcome. Okay. So any other questions? Okay. So if there are no more questions, I guess I will close today's session. Thanks a lot for joining in.
Sure.
And I look forward to seeing you all in our next session. And for IITD folks from Chennai, I look forward to seeing you all in person during my talk tomorrow evening. So thanks a lot again for joining, and have a nice evening, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a wonderful session. I'd love to stay connected.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Please do. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night.
Good night.